Robotronix.
Hello everyone and welcome back to episode 3 of Robotronix Talks. So just some quick updates before we really start getting into everything. Last episode I talked about a print that I had going on in the background. So that was a Venusaur 3D print for my girlfriend. Her favorite Pokemon is like Bulbasaur and stuff like that. I had that going on in the background. Everything came out really well, but I noticed something, and it makes me wonder if the lightsaber prints that I do are supposed to be the way they are. Because when I talked about the lightsaber prints, I said that the connecting parts, they're not full circles, they're kind of more oval shaped. And I thought that was something potentially with the printer itself. But when I did this Venusaur print, all of the connecting parts came out in perfect circles. So I'm wondering if the lightsaber files are meant to be like that, as opposed to normal circles, which I don't know why it would do that, but it is it does seem like it might just be those particular files that I'm using. So that's interesting. Just a quick update on the Mace Windu. It's not done. I did get it all glued together, and I did start painting it. I'm hoping to kind of get it finished painted by the end of the weekend, and then kind of work on editing the video throughout the week, hopefully to get it out by Friday, the 20th. So, just an update on that real quick. I am a little worried that it might take a little bit to paint, only because when I first started building and like painting, I just used spray paint because it was relatively cheap for the amount that I got. But now Hobby Lobby and Michaels both carry Plaid's FX paint. It's really, really nice. It's like a flexible acrylic paint that's like specifically for cosplay, foam, 3D prints, stuff like that. And then that one's also relatively cheap. It's like $4 or $5 for one bottle. It's like a 3-ounce bottle of paint, and it covers, I think, 7 square feet. So it's not bad. I mean, I get a little bit less than I would with the spray paint, but I feel like the colors, I can find colors kind of more more close to what I actually need them to be. Plus, the names are like awesome. They're actually really, really cool. Like this purple I have right here, it's called Voodoo Violet. It's just cool. It's a cool name. They all have really cool names. Bloodborne, Chainmail, Samurai Edge, I think. Samurai Sword. I just looked. So, but I will say the one complaint that I have about the paint, and it could be something that I'm doing wrong, because that's always a huge possibility, because I don't always read instructions. So they have different types. They have like an acrylic, they have a metallic, I think they have like a neon one, which is supposed to like glow under black lights, which is really, really cool. And then they have another type, but I don't know. I think it's like a real glittery one. But the lightsaber, I'm painting the lightsaber. I'm basically giving it a base color of silver, just cause, and then I'll go over everything that needs to be like black and gold on it. But I'm using the FX chainmail color, and it looks beautiful. It's like the perfect shade of silver, or it's the perfect type of silver. But I have noticed with the metallic FX paints that it takes a few more coats than it would for the satin. And like I said, that could be me. because on the bottles it does say to stir well before using, and I don't really do that. I kind of shake it up a little bit, but it always comes out a little thinner, so it takes a couple more coats of paint. I also don't let it dry properly. I let it dry for a couple minutes, and then I go ahead and start putting on another coat. So that might also be it. But other than that, really, like, the paint's really good. That literally is the only complaint that I have about it, and that could 100% just be me not, like, doing it properly. So, but yeah, the lightsaber, Mace Windu's lightsaber, is hopefully going to be done being painted by the end of the weekend. I'll work on it like throughout the week, in between, like after work or like before work, depending. And then hopefully by the 20th, Friday, November 20th, I'll have it out, and just it'll be a fun little thing. And then I haven't done anything with Larxine's knives still, which is really funny because I really could, if I sat down, I feel like I could sit down and at least finish painting them today, or like over the weekend as well, if I really, really did it. I haven't done it. But I did learn what they're called. So I said last week that in my head, it just, the word is spelling close to fondue. It's not. It's spelled Foudre. I still don't know how to pronounce it. It's like foudre. That was probably horribly butchered. But, so that's what they're called. They're called, for just foudre, Larxine's knives from the Kingdom Hearts series. I also learned that it is not French for lightning. It is the French spelling, or it's how you say the thunder spell from the game in French. So foudre is thunder, the thunder spell. So I learned that. Fake fan on my end. But yeah, so maybe I'll try to get that painted too, so I can at least start working on that video as well. So maybe I'll try to get 2 birds, 1 stone. And then I started on the Freddy glove the other day on my day off. So I found the right gloves. I got with the client to make sure they fit her hand properly. And then I kind of started tearing off like all the tags and labels and all that stuff. And I cut out the knives for the glove out of styrene plastic already. And now I'm working on, I cut out a template for the backhand of it. So the only issue is, obviously I'm not always around the client. So, when I made mine, I had the glove on and I would heat up the styrene plastic and I would kind of press it, the styrene plastic against the back of my hand to make like the back plate. So it formed like more to my hand. I don't really have that, obviously, but my mom does fit the glove, so I can kind of use her to kind of get all the proper shapes, I think. That one, it's not a hard project. It's just a lot of tinkering, because that one I do like the fingers do move, so like you can absolutely wear the glove and you can like close your hand a little bit. So I have to kind of remember how I did that last time with success. But that one's not a really hard one. I just have to kind of plan it all out. So that one's going really well. That one I'd like to get done pretty quick, but I'm not sure when I'll have time to do that. I do think I have a date for when I'm going to do a live stream of me doing the putting together the Iron Man helmet. It's actually going to be on the 18th, I'm pretty sure, which is actually my birthday. So I might do like a birthday live stream, and I might like do it earlier in the day because my family, I think, wants to go to dinner for my birthday. But so the plan is to wake up, kind of get everything together, live stream for a little bit, put the helmet together, which I don't know if I talked about how I was planning on doing that. I'm going to be using a technique called PLA welding, which is really cool, actually. I practiced a little bit on some scrap pieces that I had lying around. And so basically all you do to PLA weld, from at least what I understood, from what I'm to understand, is I take the pieces, I line them up how they're supposed to go, and then I take either a soldering iron or a wood burning tool, turn it on, and when it heats up, I can actually use it to kind of melt the pieces together at the seams. So I don't think it'll come out the cleanest, but like I said prior, like I don't think it's going to fit my head anyway, so it's really going to be more for a decoration piece. But I am super excited about that. So keep an eye out for that, because I'll probably make some sort of announcement like a day or two ahead of time. But yeah, as of right now, the 18th, which is it's Friday. It's Friday the 13th as I record this right now. But on the 18th, it's my birthday. I might do. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna stream that day. So I'm pretty excited. It'll be my first ever live stream. This will also probably drop. I might drop this the night before this episode, just so it's not kind of confusing, I guess. Even though, I mean, I don't think it would really draw. I don't think I'll have a big turnout, honestly, for the stream, only because my following is so small, I guess, so to speak. So I'm trying to convince my like family and like my girlfriend and everything to kind of throw it on, just to kind of get some views on it. But we'll see. Either way, I think I'm still going to enjoy the hell out of it. And I'm really excited. So yeah, keep an eye out for that coming up in the next couple days, because I'll probably throw something on like all of my social medias like Sunday or Monday. I haven't made any progress on trying to buy foam for the Aku Aku mask or anything like that. Oh, actually, before I forget, so I made a mistake. So last week, I said when I was talking about the Crash Bandicoot games, I said the second one was my favorite, which is true, but I got the title wrong. I said it was Crash Bandicoot 2: The Wrath of Cortex. It's not right. It's Cortex Strikes Back. Wrath of Cortex was, I think, originally supposed to be like the fourth game in that series, or in that like canon wise. But I think they kind of retconned everything with Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time. So just another moment of being a fake fan, but I didn't realize I was listening back. I posted the last episode, and I was listening to it because to kind of see like what mistakes I made and see where I could correct and do better. And I caught that, and I went, no, I look like a fool. But just a quick like little thing on that. But like I was saying, I haven't gone out and bought any foam because I just recently got back into collecting Pokemon cards. My friend who I made the Master Ball for, I bought him some Pokemon cards too for his birthday because that's what he wanted, and I decided to go ahead and buy me some cards too, and I've gone downhill ever since. I've spent literally in the last week more money than I care to admit on Pokemon cards. But it is a fun hobby. I do enjoy it. But yeah, I like honestly like before I sat down and started recording this episode, I was literally out with my friend buying Pokemon cards because the new set came out, Vivid Voltage, and he was really hyped about it. So we went out and tried to see what we could find, and he found some. I got a couple packs, but he was able to get like a little bit more than I was, which is cool. Completely fine, obviously, but he did pull a really good card out of it, and I pulled an okay card, but he pulled like one of the good cards out of it. But that's okay. But yeah, so I started kind of getting back into that. So that's where all my money went this paycheck. But like I said, it's all right. It is what it is. So like I said, the Mace Windu lightsaber hopefully will be done by the end of the weekend, and I will start editing it throughout the week. I actually really like doing the lightsabers. I really do. They're just kind of fun and they're interesting because my family, specifically my dad, has always been really into Star Wars. So, like my next one, I'm either going to do Palpatine's lightsaber because I really, really want. I just like the way it looks, or Darth Vader's lightsaber. And before I did the Mace Windu one, I actually did like a little poll on like my social medias, and it was like, which one should I do? Should I do Mace Windu's, Palpatine's, or Darth Malgus's? Comment below to vote. And Mace Windu won, obviously. And then I think Palpatine was like a close second. But I don't remember off the top of my head. But I do want to do a Darth Vader one for sure. It actually is probably going to be a Christmas gift for my dad. Like I just said, my dad is a huge fan of Star Wars. Darth Vader is his favorite character. And I want to see if my dad can figure out what he got, because just a fun little fact, when my dad has a weird gift, I guess, he is able to smell his gifts, like his presents, and guess what they are. He used to do it all the time when we were a kid, like when I was a kid and when my brother, like obviously, and then I thought for the longest time that it was like my mom telling him what he was getting, so he could do it to like shock us and be like, wow. And but like there was one year, my dad, he was working on a car, because my dad used to do that. He doesn't really do it too much now, but he had it was either a 74 or 69 Mustang, or a Dodge Dart. It was a Dodge Dart. I'm sorry. It was a Dart. And he got it running. He like basically rebuilt the engine. And then he didn't have a sound system in it. So the only way he could listen to like he listens more to like radio shows and podcasts. But the only way he could do it was by just having it on his phone, which the car was loud. It was an older car, so it just ran loud, so it wasn't really ideal. So one year when I was like 18 or maybe 19, I went out and I bought him a sound system. It came with like 4 speakers, all the wiring, and like the actual like unit, I guess. I don't know what it's called. The actual unit. And I bought it for him. Like, I told no one. I drove home. I waited till like 2 or 3 in the morning, and I wrapped it up in my room and put it under the tree. And Christmas morning came, and he looked at it. He smelled it. he took a sniff, and then he went, "So looks like I have a new sound system for my car." And to this day, I don't know how he did it. It's still, so I am a believer. But I do want to do the Darth Vader lightsaber for him. I don't know if he'll be here. He works overseas. He works in Japan right now. He's an engineer, and just with everything going on in the world, we don't know. We think he'd be able to come back to like for Christmas, but we're not sure if he'd be able to go back just because Japan has like travel restrictions right now. So I don't know. Hopefully we'll get to see him, but if not, like obviously I understand it's nothing he can do. It's not like he doesn't want to be here. It's just he can't be here. So that's my plan for his Christmas gift. But if Dad, if you're listening to this, it doesn't count this year because I obviously just talked about it. But if you're not listening to this, Dad, well, hopefully I'll get you. I am talking to my friend right now, the real craftsman, about doing like a collaboration on a build, and I'm really excited for that. I'm trying to work out like some of the more detailed stuff, so, more so than anything. But hopefully within the next month or so, I'll have a really cool video for you guys to all see. So yeah, we'll see where that goes. I also have not really, as of right now, I haven't really done much on the Mortal Kombat mask for that other client. I've looked into it, like I've looked at to see what I could find for it, but I just haven't like reached out to him yet and said, okay, how's this one? Da da da. Like I haven't worked out the details yet, basically for it. And there's no reason for that. It slipped my mind, honestly. I've just been busy with work, obviously. But hopefully also, maybe even today, I might reach out to him and see if we can finalize everything or not, or see if he wants to just not do it right now. I don't know yet. But yeah, there's that going on right now. Okay, so that's, I think, is all of the updates that I have on like builds and stuff. So the next thing I wanted to start talking about, I wanted to, and I might start doing this more episode by episode, but I wanted to start off the rest of this episode. I want to talk about like some of the mistakes that I made when I was first starting out and kind of like how to avoid them, especially if you're first starting out on building. So like stuff that I've done that didn't work out, but I can say like, oh well, I did this, but like I could have done this, or if like I hadn't done this, things of that nature. So I think once going forward on episodes, I'll probably talk about like updates on builds that I'm doing or builds that I have going on. I'll do updates, and then I'll kind of start talking about that going forward. But so the first thing I would say, if you are thinking about getting into doing builds and stuff like that and cosplay, my first bit of advice is to not rush your builds. And I know that seems pretty simple and straightforward, but I can't tell you, like especially when I was first starting out, how many builds I would do, and I just get so eager to get them done just because I was like, I want to see the finished products, that it would turn out that corners would be cut, unfortunately. So like it was just, and it ultimately, the build suffers. But like, just, one example I think that I have would be the, probably the Bane helmet that I did on the channel. 'Cause that one, the biggest thing right for that one was the lenses. I've actually never really done lenses, and I really did. Like I bought like acrylic sheets and all this stuff to like cut and all that stuff, and I bought window film so they'd be blacked out, because technically his mask is red, The lenses on his mask are red, but they did not have any red window film, and I don't know where else I could have gone to get it or something similar to that. So I just used like darkened out window film, and I was just so rushed to get the video out that I didn't really have a plan for how to do the lenses. Like I had a very basic, okay, I'll get acrylic sheets, I'll cut them out to like the shape, I'll put the window film on, and I'll glue them in. And I thought it would be that simple, and it wasn't. I couldn't figure out how to. I didn't account for the thickness of the acrylic sheets. So like I had the lenses put together, like I cut them out and I put the window film on, and they worked. Like I could see through it pretty well. But when I tried to glue it in to the actual mask, I got one in, and I went to like put it on to see how it fit, and I couldn't open my eye because it was just too close to my eye. So it was like uncomfortable. And even if I could have gotten it open, I don't think I would have been able to see properly out of it. So that was unfortunate. And like thinking about it now, I feel like I might have been able, because I built the whole helmet out of 5mm foam, except for like some of the details. And I feel like if I'd have done like 2mm foam around the eye area, I think the lenses would have fit in a lot better, and it would have worked out a lot better. So, and then what I ended up doing was just ditching the acrylic sheets and just gluing the window film in. So that was, and I mean, it came out all right, but I know like it could have been better. And like if I'd have just really like sat down and thought about it and planned it out better than I did, I think it really could have come out a lot better than it did. And then making sure filling in seams would be kind of like my next bit of advice. So again, for the example, for the Bane helmet, if you look at it, you can see where all the seams are for the mask, and there are ways to fill the seams. Like the most common way that I know of is to do flexible wall spackle, basically, or like caulking, stuff like that. You can fill it in. It's water soluble, so you can use a little water to kind of like thin it out at the edges and blend it in properly, and you can sand it. And I tried doing that, I think, but I was just so rushed. It was one of the first videos I did. I was so rushed to try to get it out that, again, the build itself suffered, and it just kind of looks really, really meh. But yeah, that would be my next bit of advice, is to just really make sure you're, if you're doing like stuff like that and you want to hide the seams, like take the extra time to fill in those seams, because I swear in the long run it's going to look a whole lot better than it does. My third tip would be, and I kind of talked about it very briefly in the first tip, is to plan out your builds. So like literally, if you have a build you want to do, sit down, kind of be like, okay, well, what do I need? How do I want to do this? Really kind of try to take that time before you start building to plan, like to figure out how you're going to do it. Because like I said, if I'd have really like thought about it and accounted for the thickness of the acrylic sheet, I could have done the faceplate or the eye area of the Bane mask, and I could have done it in thinner foam, and then I could have put the acrylic sheet in, and it would have been probably perfect. And then, but that also goes for like big builds. Like a lot of the time you want to, especially if you go to a con, you're going to want to bring, if you're doing a cool cosplay and the character you're cosplaying has like a big weapon or a big item or something like that, you want to think about transportation. And I, having not really gone, having having never gone to a con, I haven't had to run into that problem yet, but I know that is definitely something to think about. So I know Odin from Odin Makes, he talks about it briefly because I think very recently he built Odin's spear from the Thor movies. Odin built Odin's spear. And he talked about like, well, I need to make sure it's collapsible. So I think he used like a painting pole. I don't know what they're actually called, but like you would put the paint roller on it, and you could screw it on, and you could do that. And I think he basically built it based off that, so he can take it apart really easily. So that is always something to make sure you think about if you're going to build like a really big build. Another really good tip is to not be afraid to get creative. Like one of the things, like obviously when I started out, I just went based off templates that I could find. Just for example, like the Odin Makes one. Like a lot of Odin Makes videos that he's done, I have done. Like I made Stormbreaker based off his video. I made the Captain America shield based off his video. Stuff like that. It's okay to absolutely borrow templates to make your own things, but don't be afraid to kind of branch out on your own. Like the Bane helmet that I made, that was 100%, well, at least like the way I made it was my own design for the most part, about how I came about the template. Because I'm sure if I'd have looked hard enough, I could have absolutely found a template online and printed that out and, you know, done all that. But I have been trying to teach myself how to make my own templates. And that one, it's honestly, it's kind of fun. Like I made that template. I literally had my girlfriend wrap my head in tinfoil, or at least half my head in tinfoil, and then make a duct tape shell out of it. Put duct tape on the tinfoil, and we were able to like draw out the template and cut it out. And now I can make a template for like a helmet, and it'll fit my head. Like it'll absolutely fit my head properly. So that's really cool. So yeah, don't be afraid to kind of like branch out on your own. Like the whole Bane helmet. I keep referencing the Bane helmet just because it's just the best example that I have for a lot of this. I came up with the basic plan on how to do it. Like how to get the template for the head, how to do the tubing for the actual venom, how to make the glove, which I think I probably could have made the glove better, honestly. 100% I could have made the glove better. But like the housing unit for the light, that was all 100% kind of done by me. Which that's not me trying to brag. It's just, you know, that's me trying to get out of that comfort zone of being able to rely on templates that other people have built. But now I want to try to do that myself for people to build, I guess, if that makes sense. So, yeah, like don't be afraid to get out of your comfort zone. Worst case scenario, you have to restart, honestly. But yeah, that would be probably one of the best advice that I can give you on that. With that being said, don't be afraid to make mistakes. I've been doing this for 2.5 years, almost 3 years, and I still make mistakes. Like it happens. I'm sure a lot of people that have been doing it for so long, like a lot longer than me, they make mistakes. It happens, you know. We're human. We make mistakes. And like I said just now, like the worst case scenario, for like a build is that you have to restart. And honestly, like, I would rather restart a project to fix mistakes that I've made than to just ignore it and have it look like shit, basically, for lack of a better term. And I know I'm saying that, and I just talked about all these mistakes that I made on my Bane mask just by cutting corners. But I do try to put out really good builds. Like, I'm really happy with how the Vexen shield came out. Like, that was 100%. That was on the fly. Like, I made that template. And I love how it came out. I know I could have done better, I think, on the spikes and the handle. I've never used foam clay before, which is what those are completely made out of. But I can use that experience, and, you know, next time I do something with foam clay, like, I can do better, because now I kind of have a more familiar idea with what to do with it. And then I think the last bit of advice that I have, and it's super cliche, is to just have fun with it. Like, at the end of the day, like, I love doing this because it helps me express myself creatively. And if I didn't enjoy doing it, like, I wouldn't do it, if that makes sense. And I know that sounds pretty straightforward, but, like, I honestly, I have fun with it. Like, there are times where I get, like, frustrated, and, like, I'll walk away for a while, like a couple days or like a week or something, but I still love doing it. Like, I just love I love being able to take nothing and make something, or, like, not nothing, but I love being able to take, like, these, like, everyday things, and I can make really cool builds from it, you know? So that would honestly be probably my biggest bit of advice if you are looking to start building. But with that being said, I think that's going to about do it for this episode of Robotronix Talks. I know this one ran a couple minutes longer than the last couple have. But if you like this video, guys, please like, comment, subscribe, share it with people. Share it with your friends. I really do appreciate it. If you guys are interested, I do have, like, other social medias. I do have an Instagram. It is Robotronix_props. And then I do have a TikTok, Robotronix.props.yt. I try to post on there pretty frequently. But other than that, guys, like I said, I think that's going to do it. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Hope everyone has a great day. And until next time, guys, stay awesome.